Hello and welcome to another Switzer CEO Masterclass. And today we're talking to George Karafotias of a company called Wellnex. And let me make this point really clear from the outset. We're not making a recommendation about this company, but we're giving you a chance to get some insights into the company from the people at the top. And of course, the CEO is a good place to start. So let's kick off now with George Karafotias of Wellnex. Oh, George, thanks for joining us. So why don't you tell us about Wellnex Life?
So thanks for having me, Peter, today. WNX Life, we're a brand and product innovator that's playing primarily in the health and wellness space here in Australia. It's a massive market. We've launched 5 new brands in the last 12 months. We have about 8 brands in the market. We're about to be released to the market as well. And also the other important thing that we've done is we've formed some allegiances with some of the largest pharmaceutical companies or major players in the health and wellness space, including the likes of GSK, Chemist Warehouse and Narrotex.
Well, that's a good start, mate. It gives you a pretty big chunk of the market. What would you say is the competitive advantage of the company?
I get asked this question a lot because it is a crowded market. There's a lot of competitors in there. Where we see our difference is that we're not trying to compete against those big boys or the big players in the market. What we're trying to do is provide us with, be a niche player. So provide new innovative products in established categories that makes us stand out from the crowd. So we haven't got the marketing budgets that, say, the Blackmores or the Swiss have or some of the other big players in the health and wellness space. But what we're doing is we're seeing our advantage of, trying to bring something innovative. And that's what we've done in the last 12 months. So you have a look at, we released Australia's first slow releasing iron supplement in a gummy form. And that's got ranged in Coles, Woolworths and over 2,000 pharmacies. We've released a new energy brand called Wakey Wakey, which again is a new innovative way to consume an energy product. And that's also been ranged in over 2,000 pharmacies, Coles and Woolworths as well. But I think what validates what we're doing and being a bit different is when you get the likes of GSK who come knocking on your door and want a supply agreement with you to take Australia's first liquid paracetamol in a soft gel, and they've entered into a substantial supply agreement, and some of the sales that we're getting from that arrangement are just growing exponentially. I think we're sitting on around $5.5 million worth of purchase orders currently. It validates what we're doing here because you don't get those sort of companies coming to you if you don't offer a point of difference.
Yeah. Are you actually buying really distinctive brands, or are you working with JVs with these brands and in a sense you're the distributor, you're the one who can get them into all these great outlets?
Good question, Pete. So initially that's what the business was set up to do. We were taking other people's innovative brands and getting distribution, and that business model is changing now. So what we're focusing is only on our own brands, our wholly owned Wellnex brands. So that's what we're concentrating on, and that's what we're getting great results from. But what happens is those products that we're putting into our own brands are being used for contract manufacturing opportunities. So I talked a lot about the liquid paracetamol and the soft gel. That is in our own brand, Wagner Health Liquid Jesus, which actually is a joint venture brand with Chemist Warehouse. It's in a brand called Pharmacy Owned, but that same product is being supplied to GSK and also to Narrotex. So that one product that we've developed is deriving us 4 different revenue streams, all very profitable revenue streams for the company. Our focus is totally focused on our own brands and growing those. That's what gives us the biggest margin and what will lead the company to profitability.
What would you say, if someone's watching this and they're trying to work out, whether your company's, worth investing in, what do you think are your strongest arguments? And I've talked to you about your competitive advantage, but I know that, you believe your strategic thinking and planning is really important, but, there's a lot of potential companies someone can invest in. So you've got to sort of, underline the potential and how you're going to make that potential come good.
So one of our core focuses moving forward is to keep growing our brand, but one of the biggest game changers in the health and wellness space is the medicinal cannabis space. For the first time, the TGA has allowed medicinal cannabis products to be available under an S3 registration, which basically means to get a medicinal cannabis products, you don't have to go to the doctor anymore. You can go straight to the pharmacist and get a product given to you over the counter. Using what we've built here over a long period of time, the relationships we have, and we're aiming to be one of the first companies to attack that market. That market is a massive opportunity for the company. It's estimated to be worth about $3 billion in 2025. And the way we're tracking and then what we've built here at Wellnex, we think we'll be one of the first companies in Australia to achieve that approval. And if you are one of the first ones, and being an S3 product, you're in pole position to take advantage of that massive opportunity. Because it is an over-the-counter medicine in the S3 space, there's very limited shelf space. And because of our relationships with the likes of Chemist Warehouse, we're almost assured that once we get our registration, our product and our brand will be one of those brands that are sold in that S3 space. And that's all a testament to what we've built here. You know, the way we do business, of being able to bring innovative products to market, being very quick to bring those products to market, and then leveraging our relationship with the retailers to make sure that every product that we bring, including the medicinal cannabis opportunity, is ranged.
To be in operation, working with Chemist Warehouse, does that rule you out of other rivals to Chemist Warehouse?
Absolutely not. No, it doesn't. So if you look at all of our brands and products currently available in the market, they're available across all different pharmacy retailers, including Priceline and Terry White's, and also Chemist Warehouse. And also our products are also in Coles and Woolworths. There's a lot of focus put on Chemist Warehouse for a couple of reasons. One is they are the dominant player in this space. I mean, I think they account for about 60 to 70% of all pharmaceutical sales in Australia. And considering that 70% of all sales in the health and wellness space happen in the pharmacy channels, they're a very dominant and big player. So there's a key strategic reason why we put a lot of emphasis on Chemist Warehouse. But that doesn't exclude us from selling products or brands to other pharmacies. There's only Wagner Health Liquid G6, the joint venture brand with Chemist Warehouse, is exclusive to Chemist Warehouse. It's 50% owned by Chemist Warehouse, so it makes sense. But that same product we have in there will be in a brand called Pharmacy Owned, which will be sold in all other pharmacies outside of Chemist Warehouse. So we've got the whole segment covered through our distribution channels.
Okay, so I must admit, when I listened to the name of some of your products, it reminded me of a young girl who I can't remember her name anymore, but she was a businesswoman of the year, and she had really innovative products with really provocative names. I think one was a bit like Viagra, but she had something like, horny something. I remember it was actually quite a provocative way, but she got enormous market cut through. And she'll probably hate me if I've forgotten her name, but it was in the 90s, she was a very good performer. Has that been an important part of your strategy as well? Get good products, but give them really good marketing names to get that kind of cut through?
Yes, it is, Peter, but we're sort of letting, where we are a bit different is we're letting the products give us that market advantage by being a bit different, like the iron company, which is the first slow releasing iron supplement in the gummy form. Yeah. You look at the first liquid paracetamol on a soft gel, Wakey Wakey, which is the first time a caffeine.
That's a great name.
Yeah, available in effervescent and a gummy. We've also got to be very careful because we are playing in the registered space. Yep. So we are also governed by rules and the way we can advertise and market the product. So the focus that we're doing is we're letting the product and the difference in the product speak to the market and get that cut through the retailer and also to the consumer at the end. Okay. And that's where we're getting great results. But yeah, going back to Wakey Wakey, that's a great name. It's a fluoro green packaging. It stands out on shelf, and I think sales are up about 180% in the space of 6 months. So the whole packaging and the product is really, really important.
Okay. Is there anything else you think you need to tell people if they're looking at your company and trying to understand it?
Yeah, no, it is. I think what we've built over the last 12 months since listing as Wellnex and what we've got coming up, and everything we're doing is a bit innovative and different, which makes us stand out and gives us the best chance of success. You have a look what's coming up. We've got medicinal cannabis opportunity under the S3 space, which will be we'll be one of the first ones to obtain registration. That opportunity is just massive. I can't underestimate how big that opportunity is. We're launching Australia's first organic A2 infant formula brand next month, using all Australia milk. First time in Australia. We're launching Pharmacy Own, which will have 20 products in exclusive distribution agreement with one of Australia's largest pharmaceutical providers in CH2. We're launching a medicinal cannabis product under the SAS scheme, which is bringing, the SAS scheme allows you to go to a doctor, get a medicinal cannabis prescribed to you, and you can go and get it dispensed. And we're entering that market in December. So that's going to be another exciting launch. Next week, we're launching Mark Wahlberg's Performance Inspired brand. We saw a niche in the market for a real quality sports supplements product. We found that through Performance Inspired. We entered into a licensing arrangement with Mark Wahlberg, and that's being launched next week. And interestingly, Mark Wahlberg posted an Instagram post on it about the launch, and to say it's blown up this morning is underestimating what's happened. Is we've had over 70,000 likes, and that's got a real building momentum in as we get prepared for launch next week. So we're doing something different, and the best thing is our revenue and how we're growing speaks for itself. So we started about $7 million in financial year 18. This year we're budgeting for $30 million for financial year 23, and we're actually ahead of that budget. First, in September alone, we're up about 141% on last September. So we're actually very confident we're actually going to beat that $30 million figure that we got for financial year 23. So I can talk a lot about our brands and products, but I think the results and our financial results are speaking for themselves as well.
Okay. Well, George, thanks for joining us and good luck going forward. That's George Karafotias of a company called Wellnex Life. Now, by the way, this is an information video. I'm not recommending the stock, but certainly, as you can see, a very interesting company. It's going to be very interesting to see how it performs in the years coming forward.